Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back.
Oh, good Thursday morning, and welcome to Run It Back here on FanDuel TV. We didn't have any games last night, so we're going to get you prepped for the one tonight with the hopes that there are more. But we do start things off with Shams and some scoops, sir. Busy man, busy man. Yesterday with some Ty Lue news. Staying with the Clippers, what are the details?
Finally, Ty Lue's extension done with the Clippers. 5 years, Michelle, $70 million from what I'm told for an extension for Ty Lue. That's about $14 million a season. That puts him right up there with the top coaches in the league. Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, then Ty Lue, then Monty Williams. So you think about that top five paid coaches, and Ty Lue is finally in that category. Entering the last year of his deal, he was. And they've been going back and forth for the last couple weeks. The goal was always to get Ty Lue in that top 3 to 5 range as far as top paid coaches. And now he's going to be under contract through 2029, 2030. The Clippers are going to be going into their new arena, the Intuit Dome that we've been talking about, that Lue probably had a hand in. They're going to be going into that next summer or next season. And this summer is going to be big for the Clippers because now you get Ty Lue in the mix, in the fold for multiple years to come. Kawhi Leonard's already locked in for the next 3 years. The free agencies of James Harden and Paul George. Those are the two free agent decisions that the Clippers have looking forward to over the next month and a half going into July. They want both players back, but at what price, at what cost? That's the next order of business for them. But obviously getting Ty Lue done was big. 5 years, $70 million.
Okay, so let's start there, guys. Your reaction when you saw the news?
Yeah, I love it. I didn't hear
you,
Michelle.
That's on me, Chandler. I should have said somebody's name first. You know what? I'll go to Lue. That is on me.
Have at it, Lue.
All right, I'll take it. No, it's exciting to have Ty Lue back for the Clippers. You know, obviously going into the Intuit Dome, stability is important. Where your leadership lies is gonna be important, especially to the fan base. You know, they want to know that they're still on solid ground and still in a position to compete at a high level. And, you know, locking Ty Lue in as your coach, I think that gives you that opportunity. Obviously, their next line of business is going to be locking in those big-time free agent guys, you know, for that group. But this is a great start for them, great start for the Clippers organization. That's somebody that's trying to find, you know, their not their footing in the game. You know, they've been around 25-plus years, but, you know, they're trying to create an identity in the city of Los Angeles. And this is a great way to start. Ty Lue being at the helm of that gives them a great opportunity to start the new year off, start the new season and Intuit Dome in the right direction.
I like the idea that he's up there at the top. Chandler, I'll start with you on the next one. I mean, Paul George, obviously a big name. James Harden, big name. Do you think having Ty Lue all wrapped up will help both of them stay?
Yeah, I do, especially because when you have players with that sort of resume and that sort of credibility, you better believe that they were in conversations and helping them kind of get through this deal done, right? When you have star players like that, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, when you have guys of that stature, they have a say in the coach. So no doubt in my mind, I think this is a good move. I think Ty Lue is a top 5 coach and he should be compensated for that. And I think he's a player's coach. Guys really, really roll with him. Guys trust him. He can relate to players really, really well as a former player. So I love it. I think this definitely helps them lock in Paul George, helps them get James Harden. And like Lue said, I think going into this new arena, you want to have a good product. You want to give your fans something to believe in. You want to have stability. And I think this is the first start. And I also like it for other coaches. If I'm a Dagnon or I'm a Finch or I'm Mazzulla, Malone, if I'm some of these other coaches, I'm looking at now this type of number when my deal is up and saying, damn, I want 60, 70, 80 million. I want 14, $15 million a year, and they deserve it. Being a coach is a tough job. You see, there's great coaches fired every single year. There's coaches that win Coach of the Year and get fired. So I love that they're starting to get paid, you know, damn near more than most of the players on the team, and I love it because Ty Lue's one of those coaches that deserves it. He's a great coach. He's a player's coach, and I think this is the right direction now for the Clippers going into next season, going into the new arena with championship expectations.
Cannot wait for this new arena. Lue, I mean, we spent so much time talking about the Lakers job and if it's even a good job right now. Do you think this Clippers job is still a very good job?
I think it's a great job. I think it's a great job. It's a great opportunity to build and grow. You know, you got a great core of guys. You got star power. You got a great bench. You have an organization that's behind you. You have a city that's behind you. You're going into a new arena, like we keep mentioning. Everything is in your favor to be successful. You have all the tools. You have the atmosphere. You have the environment to be successful. You know, so why not have that job? Not to mention you in sunny Southern California. You know, you can't beat that with a bat, you know. So you got the weather, you got the team, you have the organization, you got a lot of money now. You got a lot of things that's working in your favor. This is a great job to have. And you don't have the pressure or the expectation of Los Angeles Lakers. They obviously have championship aspirations, but it's not so much pressure from the city to deliver that. You know, they're starting to get a little antsy, but it's a little different feeling with the Clippers than the Lakers. So everything is trending in the right direction for Ty Lue. I think that this is a great job to have.
I bet he woke up this morning with just a big old smile on his face. Now that you're putting it that way, Lou, his life sounds perfect. We're gonna talk about a women's basketball 3-on-3, Shams. I don't know a lot, so I am excited to hear the details on this one.
So, Michelle, it's a league, 3-on-3 league, 6-team league as of right now. The first 30 players that will sign deals with the league will get an equity ownership stake in the league as well. It starts in January. The games will be played in an arena, in a gym in Miami, a 1,000-person gym in Miami. And Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, the two WNBA stars, are the co-founders of the league, and they started it with the hopes of trying to provide a different platform, a different way for these women to make money, especially in the offseason. You see a lot of women going abroad and having to go overseas to play professionally, to also earn a salary and earn a living. But this league will run opposite of the WNBA season. It's going to be run in the winters, and it's going to have the highest average salary in women's professional sports history. And so you think about the numbers, the average salary in the WNBA is $120,000. I'm told the salary in this unrivaled league is going to be about double that. The average salary will be about double that. And you think about the top salaries, the Supermax in the WNBA is $241,000. I'm told this league will have a significantly higher top salary. They're going to spend a lot more on the top players than that amount of money. And I think you think about this league, it's 3-on-3 league. It'll be played in a full court, so more spacing. They're hoping that having the best players coming over from the WNBA playing this league in the offseason essentially is going to provide the best of the best platform for these WNBA players, and also eventually for whatever audience they cater to on a linear platform as well as in person.
Shams, you cut out for one split second during that. Did you say that they're playing the entire league? The games will be played in one arena in Miami?
Yes, it'll be in a 1,000-person arena in Miami,
All right.
and the games will start in January.
All right, so 16 teams times 3, that's 48 spots. The first 30 get equity. Thinking you should run quickly to get over there. What do you guys think, Lou? You interested in this?
I think it's amazing. I love the way that the game is growing out. You know, we're taking opportunities, not only just 5-on-5, now we're venturing into the 3-on-3 space. And we also giving these young ladies an opportunity to make more income, to have another source of income, you know, to try to get them up there to the point where they're considered $1 million athletes by endorsements, by this league, by, you know, your regular contract, maybe still have an opportunity to go overseas and play. So the platforms that are being created, salute, kudos to Breanna Stewart and everybody that's involved in getting this off the ground. I think it's an amazing opportunity. These type of things, they always make me proud. You know, I'm into women's basketball. I'm in the trenches every day with these young ladies, trying to create opportunities, trying to get them ready to have something to look forward to. So this is a great opportunity for them to make more income and to put more exposure on the game. I love it.
Chandler, this is, I mean, a lot of these women have families, they have lives, you know, having to uproot all that just to go make a couple extra bucks somewhere overseas, a different country. Imagine when you're young, that's fun. But at some point, you kind of want to not have to do that. So how stoked are you to see this? And not only that, but the salaries being just starting out as good as they are.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Just the progress that they've made with just the everything, with the chartered flights, with the salaries now. Shams, you said doubled the salary of what they're getting now during the whole season for a 3-on-3 tournament in Miami. Like you said, Michelle, these girls, they have families, they have kids. So a lot of times you see them go overseas just to, to afford a nice lifestyle. Now you can go and do this and be in Miami, play on this 3-on-3, make it competitive. So I love it. I think it's great for their game. I love all the buzz that they're getting. I love all the compensation that they're getting financially. So I think this is an unbelievable idea. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I think this might even end up being more watched than the actual WNBA 5-on-5 game. So I think it's fun. I think it's great for them.
I love this. This is exciting. This was a big piece of the story. It's 6 teams, not 16. Am I deaf? I think I'm deaf. You guys, we do have a game tonight. Something's going on. We got to talk about it. Let's see if we can get some excitement out of this one. T-Wolves, Mavs. Look, Luka was 5 for 5 and 5 for 15 in game 4, but he didn't really give much credit to Anthony Edwards, who was the main culprit on defense for that. He really just said the energy was low, even though most people disagree with him on that. Was it a bad night for Luka, Chandler? Can we give some credit to Ant here? A mix of both? Where are you on this?
I think it's a mix of both, but I think you definitely have to give Ant credit. From game 1, him saying he's tired, for him, going at Kyrie, calling out Kyrie, and then having the shooting night he did, to now to what he did in game 4. You have to give him credit. And with the physicality, with the way they play, I think Luka, he does get wherever he wants. Him and Kyrie both missed some bunnies, but this is a great defensive team. This is a team that's been number 1 defensively all year long. So they have different bodies to throw at them. I love when they put Kyle Anderson on him, Alexander Walker. So they have a bunch of different looks that they can throw at Luka. But again, Luka, he can be streaky. So no matter who he's guarding or who's guarding him, he can be streaky. He can settle at times for long step backs. He tries to draw fouls a little bit too much. And Ant, McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, these guys play physical and they do force your hand a little bit. But at the end of the day, I do think he just had an off night. He missed a lot of shots that he usually does make. But they do present some sort of challenges with him, just how long, how physical that they play defense. But I chalk it up to a bad night, but we'll see. He's got another chance at it tonight. They're going to continue to throw different looks. They're going to blitz him. They're going to trap him. They're going to show him a bunch of different things that they've done all series long. So they're a great defensive team for a reason. So you have to give them some sort of credit when you struggle offensively.
Yeah, keeping in mind the length aspect there, Jane McDaniels had the Kyrie assignment. We all know Kyrie had an off night as well. He did give credit to McDaniels after this one. Lou, when you're watching this one, those first 2 games were Did Minnesota figure something out?
Yeah, they adjusted. I think they adjusted well. They put some length on Kyrie to kind of make him finish over some length, finish over some size, make him more of a driver, especially with those 2 guys, with Luka and Kyrie, who are so dangerous behind the 3-point line. Now you're starting to figure out that we got to make them play inside of the lane, and at the same time, we got Rudy Gobert, we got Cat, we got Naz Reid, those guys that can protect the rim to minimize paint points throughout the course of that game. So putting Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie, making him a driver, making him have to finish in the lane against that size. I think that was a great adjustment. And obviously Kyrie and Luka, they'll come out tonight and make their adjustments. So I feel like this game is going to be one for the books. When you get one, you have the confidence to go out there and get 2, especially on your home court. So if Minnesota Timberwolves, they get an opportunity to win this basketball game tonight, it's a completely different series. And I think that's going to come on the shoulders of Jaden McDaniels and the way that he guards and the way that he puts pressure on them guys as well on the offensive end of the floor.
So let's get. Oh yeah, go ahead.
That's a good point too, because when you go down 3-0, you're thinking, "Damn, like how do we beat these guys? We're doing this, it's not working. We're getting good shots, not going down." So just for them to have the confidence of getting one on game 4, going back home. Now, if I'm Minnesota, I'm thinking, okay, we know we can beat these guys. We just did it on the road, so we get this game here tonight. We know we can go and beat them in Dallas because we just did. Do you know what I mean? So I think this game is everything tonight. Everything shifts after this series. After this game tonight, and this is massive, obviously, for both sides.
I feel like I know the answer to this question, Chandler, so I'll start with you. But those first 3 games, you had Luka and Kyrie outscoring them by 70. In game 4, Ant and Kat outscored him by 10. You just said it. This game is everything. It can completely, obviously it's over if Minnesota loses, but if they win, change of plans. Who's having the better night? Which duo?
Duo, I got to go with Kyrie and Luka. I think they know the pressure of this game. They know the expectations that with this game, everything goes back to them. Karl-Anthony Towns had a great game. We have to give him his flowers up until last night. But before that, he was 3 of 22 from the three. He's constantly in foul trouble. So he was pretty bad until last game. So can he put 2 games together? Can he be that offensive piece that they need to go with Anthony Edwards? And he's obviously the key to them. You know you're going to get Anthony Edwards being aggressive. You know you're going to get him scoring 25, 30 points. It just depends on how many shots it takes him to get that. Karl-Anthony Towns, for me, is the key for them. He's got to get aggressive. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. He's got to take good threes. A lot of times he kind of just catches and shoots really high and doesn't take his time and rushes, takes bad looks. He feels like he's got to get involved. For me, it's not about the duos. It's about Karl-Anthony Towns for the Timberwolves, and it's about the other guys for the Dallas Mavericks. Is PJ Washington, can he go back to what he did in the first 2 rounds and start making shots? Can Derrick Jones hit the shots and have big games? Can they get something from Jaden Hardy and Josh Green again that they've been getting sporadically? So for me, it's not about these 2 duos. You know what you're going to get with Luka. You know what you're going to get with Ant. It's Towns for the Timberwolves, and it's the other guys for Dallas, in my opinion.
Lou, if Cat has 18 or more points, the team is 7-1. And obviously his last game was a good one. Why am I nervous that he's going to come out slow tonight? Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, he's showing you he's going to go out guns blazing. He's not gun shy. You know, that's one thing about it. He's going to get his attempts. He's going to get his shots at the rim. I would just like to see him be a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes I feel like he settles from that 3-point line. Like, if we're looking at these clips right here, you know, he's coming off of screens like he's a guard. Sometimes put your back to the basket. Put some pressure on these guys. Use your size. Use your body to put more pressure on, get you some easy looks, get you 2 to 4 free throws a quarter. You know, those things open that lid up. That makes that rim so much bigger when you're easy to just get easy opportunities. I think he lives and dies by the jump shot too much. You know, so this should be one of those games where he enforces his will on that defense and just constantly pound. You open up that lane, open up the paint, and then you stretch the floor out. Then you take your opportunities in the transition to shoot your threes, come off of little screens and put pressure on these guys. So I think this will be a good night for Karl-Anthony Towns. Hopefully he plays physical from start to finish of this game. And if he does that, I think he puts them in a great position to win game 5 here.
The foul trouble stuff, it's there. I mean, Gobert had some, Ant's had some as well. But after game 4, once again, Ant called out his teammate about the fouls.
We had a long time with the 5 fouls tonight and still found a way to score. And
I'll tell you about 5, bro. What you mean you had 5? But I didn't foul out.
Yeah, you fouled out. I did what I needed to do.
I'm going to beat him up on the bus, y'all.
Get out of here. Don't believe that.
I do believe it, for the record, but how do you stay out of foul trouble? I mean, it seems so easy for us to say, but when things get heated, Chandler,
What's frustrating if you're the coaching staff or if you're Anthony Edwards, a lot of times Towns fouls are stupid fouls. They're they're tic-tac fouls. They're over the back. That's blatant. Or like it's a foul in the backcourt. A lot of times, he's their big man. He's their power forward. It would be one thing to me if he's using them as a physical, wrapping someone up, a hard foul. 90% of his fouls are so tic-tac and so bad. So I think that's what frustrates Coach Finch and that whole coaching staff, because he's so important offensively that a lot of times he's not on the floor because of these just poor decisions he's making on that end. So if it's good news because he could easily stop and correct it and not do it because they're not needed. It's not like he's taking good, hard physical fouls. It's not like he's wrapping up Gafford, making him make free throws. It's pretty dumb foul. So I think it's something that he can clean up, and it's something that he needs to clean up because he's got to be on the floor for them to win tonight.
Can he clean it up by tonight, Lou? Because feels like he's not.
Yeah, he's going to have to. The second what Chandler just said, some of these fouls are silly fouls. Even some of the stuff that Rudy Gobert does, they're just silly fouls. You're slapping across a guy, and it has nothing to do with basketball. You're just stopping the play. Now everybody's mixing it up. And you're putting your team in an early bonus. You don't want to do that. You don't want to give these guys easy looks at the rim. You don't want to give Luka an extra 5 or 6 free throws to beat you. And then it comes down to a 1-possession game where you got to guard him at the 3-point line. And he hits a 3-point, he wins by 1 point, and you've donated 5 or 6 free throws to this guy just by being silly. So tonight they just got to pay attention to detail, do all of the small things right, and try to win this basketball game and stay out of silly foul trouble and silly little mix-ups that gets you nowhere at the end of the game.
Does he really think that we think he's the alpha over Ant? I mean, he really doesn't think that, right? Like, there's no chance. Ant rules the room when he enters that thing. Derek Lively, of course, missed that last game, Shams. He's got the neck sprain. Any word on if he could return?
Yeah, there's a chance, like I said yesterday. I'm told Derek Lively will be a game-time decision tonight. It's really trending toward a 50-50 chance that he plays. He's trying, obviously, to give it a go. He doesn't have a concussion, which is the good news, but he has a neck injury, a neck sprain that he's dealing with. And so you saw him on the bench during Game 4. He was stretching that neck out. He was trying to see, if he can get some mobility in that area near his face. So the hope, obviously, in Dallas is that he's able to tough it out and try to play tonight. But I would expect a decision closer to game time.
Chandler, I've had my thoughts on this. I know nobody's come back from down 3-0. It's going to happen at some point. It has to. Is this Minnesota Timberwolves team capable of making that kind of history?
Are they capable? Sure. Do I see them doing it? No, I don't think so. I think it's too tall of a mountain to climb against an offensive juggernaut like the Mavs. I think it's too hard to shut off the water of Kyrie Irving and Luka for 3 more games. But with that being said, if I were to convince you, I would lean my hat on that. I would lean my hat on my defense was the #1 team. I'm physical. I have a deep team. And if Karl-Anthony Towns can continue to get hot from the 3-point line, he's the best shooting big in NBA history. His words. If he can be that, if Ant can keep doing what he did, if Rudy can kind of control the paint and they get different things from Mike Conley, can he step up and give you 12 to 15 points? Can Kyle Anderson come in and be instant offense and get in passing lanes and do that? Then yes, I think they have a chance. Not to mention Luka has been up and down, playing pretty good for the most part, but he's banged up. So if there's ever a time now, tonight, go right at him, try and get him in foul trouble. You have to make him work like Dallas made Anthony Edwards work on both ends in Game 1. So is there a chance? Yeah, obviously no one's ever done it. But when you look at this team and they say defense wins championships and defense travels, Minnesota has that. So they're in every game just the way they lock up.
Lou, give me the keys to a win tonight. Pick a team, any team. Who's getting it?
I like Minnesota tonight. It's going to be a tall task for them to win 4 in a row with the firepower that the Dallas Mavericks have with Kyrie and Luka. I don't see them losing 4 games in a row. But if there is a team to do it, I think Minnesota, they have the tools. They can score with the best of them. They can defend the best of them. They have a great core. They have a great bench, coaching staff. They got all the ingredients that's needed to pull it off. I think it's nearly impossible, though. I hope they prove me wrong. So I've been really entertained in this series and the playoffs in general. So I want to watch as much basketball as I can. So I hope they pull it off.
Despite the record, it has been a very entertaining series. Lou, I'm going to start with, well, go ahead.
I'm a little confused besides this voice just talking at me.
Yeah, I heard that. Good.
This team is down 3-0, right? And they almost got swept. How the hell are they 4.5-point favorites? I know it's at home. But I don't understand this.
It's a big one.
I don't understand this spread. I know they're at home. I know they're good at home. I know everything that they bring. But if I'm a gambler, man, I'm going Mavs plus 4.5. I know I'm getting early there, but I don't understand that spread at all.
I don't think anyone does. I mean, 1.5 maybe, but it seemed like a big gap. And you are a gambling man, so I don't know why you use that phrase. Let's say this thing comes down to 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 7 seconds. Who's the biggest closer? Who's the best closer in this one? Chandler, you first.
The best player in the series, Luka Doncic.
Boom, done. Lou?
Luka.
Okay, nobody disagrees. I didn't think y'all would, but I
might go Kyrie. Sure. I might go Kyrie. I don't think you can go wrong.
Somebody mix it up. Somebody put something in the pot. There we go.
I like that, Shams.
Either way, we're saying the best closer is on the Mavs.
We are saying that. That does not bode well for my vibes. We got to play. I'm going to play as much Ant sound as we possibly can because it's the best. But his confidence going into Game 5. Here he is.
Tell somebody how are you seeing for Game 6. Where does that confidence come from?
What am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to say we're going to lose Game 5? No, I'm not going to never say that. Michael Parsons, he was rocking the AE1s, and I told him he wears size 14. I'll bring back some nice shoes for Game 6. That's what I told him.
I don't know why he's standing on his way out. But look, he's hilarious. Does anyone here think this series ends tonight or it keeps on going? Chandler?
I think it ends tonight. But first of all, I can't possibly love Anthony Edwards anymore. Every time he does an interview, I love it. I think the banter with him and Towns is a little cringy, but mostly because of Towns. But I love Anthony Edwards. He is so funny. Everything he said, and you know what? When he was mic'd up the other night, from when they were down, when they were up, he never changed. He stayed the same throughout the whole game, whether they're on a run, whether he's struggling, whether he's playing good, whether he's playing bad. This dude, for 22 years old, is such a mature, funny leader. And that's the kind of spirit that you need in an elimination game, down 3-1. At least they're having fun. At least they're positive. You know what? They're going to this game. We win this game. Anything can happen. So,
but you just said but you think it ends tonight. You don't like that confidence that much.
Well, I think Dallas are a better team, and I think they're going to still win tonight. But I'm just saying, I love Anthony. I love, like, as a 22-year-old, having this type of positivity with your back against the wall. I think that's incredible. I do. Do I think they have enough to win the series? No chance. I don't even think they have enough to win this game tonight. Damn sure not by 5 or more points. So I love the confidence, but again, he's 22 years old. Sometimes that could just be crazy.
Sometimes being a little naive is a good thing for you. I like the Timberwolves. For sure. I like a big win for the Timberwolves game 5.
A big win.
I'm going with the spread. Let's do it.
Whoa! I am not doing that. I'm doing money line on that. Shams, can you tell us? Do you have a vibe if this thing ends, or do we get to keep talking basketball next week?
Well, listen, Michelle, I don't know if it's going to end or not. Kevin Garnett is probably not going to be at Game 5 tonight, but I will. So that's all I have to say on Game 5. That I will be
you are
in the house
going
tonight in Mini. I am going to the game tonight. Yes.
Mother Nature kept him away.
The storms are better there, Shams. The weather's not horrible anymore.
No weather. My flight got canceled to Dallas, so unfortunately I couldn't make it there for Game 4. But everything worked out because there's a Game 5 in Mini, which is closer to Chicago.
Basketball gods were looking out for you, Shams. They're like, don't even bother, dude. We're gonna have another game. Well done, Shams. Love you, mean it. We will see you in Los Angeles bright and early on Monday. When we come back, another edition of You Buying That.
Run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up.
And time for You Buying That. This is where people say things and we decide if they're crazy. We start with Paul Pierce, who says, we always do, says the Lakers head coaching job's not appealing because it's not good to be rebuilding in LA. So, Lou, are you buying that job is not good because they're rebuilding? Uh-oh. We're having an audio issue. There he is. Did you mute yourself?
I did.
God,
mute
you're
myself.
the worst. You're the worst.
No, I'm buying. The Lakers don't do rebuilds. That's just not what they're into. They're into hanging up banners in the arenas. You know, so having that job during a rebuild where you're not competing at the highest level, they're going to be calling for your job. They're going to be calling for somebody else to have that head seat. And so I agree with Paul here. The Lakers job isn't as appealing when you don't have superstars like LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Kobe Bryant and the Shaquille O'Neals and all of these guys to help you win championships. You know, when you're dealing with young guys, the fan base tend to be a little bit impatient when it comes to that. So I'm buying. I agree with Paul here.
It's funny. A rebuild in Lakers terms is different than a rebuild in, say, a Pistons.
Wait, I'm not. Why are they rebuilding? I don't think they're rebuilding. We don't know what LeBron's going to do. They have Anthony Davis. They have Austin Reeves. And let's not forget, it is LA. It is the Lakers. They are always going to be in contention for free agents. They're always going to be a destination that players want to go to. I'm not buying that they're rebuilding. I think they're always going to figure out ways to be in the hunt. I think this job
makes them a rebuild, Chandler.
Their definition of rebuild is it's different.
Yeah, their definition of rebuild is different than our traditional terms of rebuilding, but they don't have like their team together.
I think they're one trade away from getting Donovan Mitchell and being a top 4 team. I think the rebuilding process is going to be very, very short if they're rebuilding. So I think the job isn't appealing because you want to have full control of the locker room. You want to have full control of the team. And when you have a LeBron James coach team, you might not have that. And when it is the Lakers, you have a short leash of quick championship expectations. So I wasn't buying it because the rebuilding, I don't think they're rebuilding. I think they're going to make moves this summer to be a top 5 team in the West next year. I don't think that rebuilding to me is blowing it up, getting rid of everybody, grabbing picks and starting from the ground up. This is the Lakers. This is LA. They are always going to get free agents. They are always going to be in the hunt to get good players. So I wasn't buying it based on that.
Yeah, the Lakers, that rebuild should be in quotation marks because their rebuilding is everybody else's tweaking, basically. But I think they look at it as much more dramatic because of the expectation. Chandler, there's speculation about the Clippers being interested in DeMar DeRozan. You buying that that's a good fit?
I think it's a good fit just because he's such a good scorer. It gives them another weapon. If I'm the Clippers personally, I would rather more shooting. A lot of times you get all these ISO offensive-minded players, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, DeMar DeRozan. A lot of times in the postseason, that kind of affects spacing, and that's what DeMar does best. He's off the block, post up. He's mid-range, which is crazy. I see him every single morning in the gym. The dude boxes every morning, so he's going to have a big year. He's going to be in great shape. He's already working out crazy hard every single morning. So I think his talent alone, I think he can make it work wherever. I think they would need more shooting, in my opinion, if I'm them. Because again, a lot of those guys are very similar. They do a lot of the same things. They're all ISO. They're one-on-one. They can go get you buckets, and they are elite at doing that. So I think it's a good fit. I don't think it's a great fit.
Love that he's in the gym every day. He's just getting ready. Lou, I like this next one. In his exit interview, Tyrese Halliburton said that he learned in the playoffs that the healthier team wins. Now, could be true, but also feels a little like maybe some shade thrown Boston's way.
I'm not buying this. I think a healthier team can win. It usually trends that way. But I think you got to be lucky as well. You got to have some luck in there, and you just got to have good game plans. If this was a shot at Boston, I don't see where this would matter. You know, they were 14 games better than everybody else in the Eastern Conference this year, not just in the playoffs. I think the playoffs are, a great example of how dominant they've been throughout the course of this season, not just when injuries came. It didn't matter who these teams had. They were beating the hell out of everybody this year, and they were competing at the highest level. And still, they were down 2-0 before he got hurt. So I don't really subscribe to that. I think he's very young in this process of making deep playoff runs. Indiana will get better. They'll get better. And they'll get healthier. They'll get more talented guys. But I disagree completely with this. Some of what he's saying could be true. I don't think all of it is. So
Lou, can we play a little game here, Lou? I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, I like this.
Which we agree that health has a lot to do with it, right? It's a lot of times whose health going into the postseason. So right now, fully healthy, Indiana Pacers, Lou, or the New York Knicks?
New York Knicks. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana Pacers or Milwaukee Bucks?
Milwaukee Bucks. You know that.
And then, by the way, the list goes on. 76ers, I'm taking the 76ers. Miami Heat, I'm taking the Miami Heat. Cleveland Cavaliers fully healthy. I'm probably taking them.
They're even a product of teams being a little banged up. Their success is a product of teams being banged up. Yeah,
that is where I'm going with this. Where their whole run to the Eastern Conference Finals was because teams were banged up. So this is weird. Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. Your team fully healthy is probably the 6th or 7th best team in the Eastern Conference if everyone else is fully healthy also. So this made zero sense to me because the Pacers were blessed with injuries on their run to the finals as well.
Well, that seems like he might have been a little angry. That was coming out. Chandler, during a workout session, Brandon Miller says that Michael Jordan was talking trash to him. Okay, yep. And then Jordan goes on to airball a free throw. Are you buying that this is how it went down?
Yeah, I mean, I'm buying it. One shot, he was probably lit. He was probably drinking his tequila. He hung over. He just got off the golf course. I'm sure this is very possible to do. And Brandon Miller, I love this whole encounter he keeps having with MJ and this going sort of beef. But yeah, I mean, listen, he's human at the end of the day. Do I think he had like a backpack on and shot an air ball? Sure, why not?
Am
I
I
just like the
missing
visual.
something? I thought MJ sold the hardest. Is he still hanging out? I thought he sold.
Yeah,
I mean, he did sell, but yeah, I could see. If he likes the guys, and sure, why not? Wants to be around it every once in a while. I could see that. I just think it's funny. Lou, Shaq told Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons that he would average 40 in today's game easily. You buying that?
I'm not buying that. I mean, Shaq played in today's game. Granted, it was at the end of his career, but he was a part of the game shifting to where it is today. Him averaging 40 points a game. I don't know. I see him getting hacked way more than he did in his heyday. I see him having to guard a Karl Anthony Towns at the 3-point line. I see him having to deal with a Wemby, deal with guys like Dirks and all of these type of guys that create so many different things. And nobody's really throwing the ball in the paint anymore. They're not throwing the ball on the block and just allowing a Shaq to go to work. Will Shaq be a dominant force in any era of basketball? Absolutely. But I think our OGs got to stop saying that they'll just average 40 points a game off the whim. Because I seen AI say something similar to that. I just think we got to stop saying it. Like, these guys were superheroes, in their playing days. And they averaged upwards of 30 points a game. But just to say you're going to average 40 points a game in today's NBA, I wonder what part of the game makes them feel that way, especially with the floor being as open as it is now, when it's not slow down, throw the ball in the post, and just allow Shaq to go to work. They're going to throw so many different looks at Shaq. He's going to have to shoot free throws. He's going to have to do a lot of different things in today's game. I just don't see it panning out to it being a 40. Can he be a dominant force? Absolutely. But just to wake up and say you average 40, I ain't buying that.
Man, this one game, Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons made the most of it. They were all over the place, getting jerseys signed.
By the way, is he just gonna automatically start making free throws now, Lou?
Wow.
I'm just saying, if he played nowadays, he's gonna get double team, triple team more than he did.
He's gonna have to shoot way more free throws now than he did then.
Shoot 25, 30 free throws, and what's his career free throw percentage? So we'll live with him making 10 or 15 out of 30. So that means he's gonna get that many possessions in today's age with the pace and running up and down. Shaq is timeless. He's unbelievable. He would dominate. He would dominate the NBA. But 40, he's still going to have to make free throws. He's still going to have to play defense. He's still going to have to chase around Karl Anthony Towns playing the 5, coming off screens like he's Steph Curry. There's still also things that don't work out in his favor in today's age. But I do think Shaq is the most dominant player of all time, and I think he would dominate any era. But just saying he's going to average 40 is
average.
The average is tough. 40 is the problem I'm having, the average.
Yeah, that's a big one. Chandler, Jeff Teague said that Chris Paul is just as good as Allen Iverson, and his career is better than AI's. You buying that Chris Paul's got a better career going than AI's?
His career, yes. His career, if you look at his accomplishments, he has one more All-Star appearance. He made All-NBA teams a bunch more times than him. And early in his career, he was all defensive teams. So when you look at the accolades that he has,
Chris Paul don't have an MVP.
What?
What is that?
He doesn't like this.
Right, but I'm saying when you look at their resumes next to each other, I think Chris Paul's is better, and I think they're both unbelievable. I think Allen Iverson's a better basketball player. I think
if you are at the park, Chandler, and you have the first pick, who are you taking on your team?
That's not fair.
I'm just asking.
Why is that not fair?
Forget all of that stuff. Let's be common sense basketball players. If you have the first pick on the park, who are you picking?
At the park, I'm picking Allen Iverson.
So then, is it fair to say he's the better player, but the career?
Allen Iverson is a hooper. Allen Iverson is a hooper. He is a bucket. He was the MVP at that size. Is insane. All I'm saying is when you look at their resumes, Chris Paul's resume is better outside of the one MVP. So it's not like it's crazy to say that.
2000, what's that? One finals appearance with arguably one of the more underrated basketball teams of all time. Now, when we can put their numbers side by side, yes, you can make an argument that Chris Paul had a tremendous career when it comes to stat lines and everything like that. He was great on both sides of the ball. That was Allen Iverson's Achilles heel in his career. They said that he didn't guard. So you can give Chris Paul that over Allen Iverson. As far as everything else, I think Chris played, probably 4 or 5 more years than AI. That puts him, that gives that argument some credence that you can add those numbers in. But the impact that Allen Iverson had, the things that he was able to do on a basketball court, I think everybody is going to have an argument on both sides of this thing. And I'm on the Allen Iverson side of it.
Lou, you're up next. It's funny. It's like the same culprits every time we do You Buying That. Same guy saying stuff, because this next one's Draymond Green. He explained that Kobe is not in the GOAT conversation because he played with Shaq. And when Shaq was traded, the Lakers had some years. Are you buying that Kobe's not in the GOAT combo because he played with Shaq, Lou?
Nah, I disagree with Dre on this one. I'm not buying that. I think where Kobe gets a little mixed up in the GOAT conversation is he's publicly said that he tried to do everything that Michael Jordan did. He tried to emulate his movements, his body language, the way that he attacked the game, the places that he got his, the places on the floor where he liked to get his shots from. And the whole thing, I think that's where he gets caught up in that conversation is the Michael Jordan comparisons, not because he played with Shaq. Both of those guys went on to win championships without each other, so I thought we put that argument to bed a very long time ago when Kobe won his 5th ring with Pau Gasol and that group of guys without Shaq. I thought we put that to bed then. And so I'm disagreeing with him. If anything, it's going to be because of the Michael Jordan 1A, 1B conversation, but not because he played with Shaq. So no, I ain't buying it.
Shaq just catching a stray is so funny to me.
It's just weird to be like, well, I mean, look, everyone's saying a lot of things. It's good for us, including Giannis Chandler, who called Ercan Ataman, a Turkish basketball coach, the #1 coach, and that he would love to play for a coach like him. Are you buying that in somewhere in that sentence, there's some shade being thrown Doc's way?
Yeah, I think there is. I think there has to be. If I'm there has to be. I can't not hear that. And if I'm Doc Rivers, I can't hear that and not be offended at basically my best player telling me he'd rather be coached by this other guy in Europe who not a lot of people over here have even heard of. It's not like he's saying Pop. It's not like he's saying Phil Jackson. It's not like he's saying one of these historic NBA coaches. And I understand these European guys, they show so much love to the coaches over there, to the players over there, to the Euro League. They have a whole different level of respect than what American players do over there. It means more to them. It's their passion. As soon as the season ends, they go home. Their family, their roots are there. So I get it. But if I'm Doc, yeah, I feel a certain way about this. Do I take it personal? No, with Doc, I don't think he did. I think he honestly makes a joke about it. I think he probably, makes a comment about it. But yeah, this is weird to me that my best player is basically saying he likes this other coach more than the coach that's coaching him, or more than the coach that he's had run a championship run and all the coaches he's had in the NBA. So yeah, I think it's a little shady.
Feels shady, guys.
I think it's no harm, no foul. It's one of those things, Chandler. I feel like you kind of say something and it has no real repercussions. Like, we're never going to see this coach in the NBA. We're never going to have to compare him to a Doc or a Budenholzer or Adrian Griffin and all of these other guys that's Coach Giannis. So you can kind of give him that love and respect without anybody feeling away. So I'm looking at it in that frame. I don't really look at it as shade towards any past coach that he's had. More so just showing this coach love and saying, he's a really good coach. And at the end of the day, we'll never have to see him. So it really doesn't matter. I can praise him as much as I want.
Yeah, it's similar to American guys' college coach, right? It would be like, Devin Booker being like, Calipari is my favorite coach you've ever had. And there's a different level of love and history and roots that you have with your team in Europe or with your college coach. So do I think it's like mean? Do I think it's offensive? No, I just think if I'm Doc, I definitely saw it, and definitely people send it to Doc like, damn.
For sure. It's the like him, I think, that you can interpret.
Listen,
maybe.
I got news for y'all. Doc is somewhere in Malibu chilling right now.
Great point. It's a great point. Yeah, what does he care? He keeps winning. Keep winning. We're gonna take a quick break. Come back with some more Run It Back in a bit. It's happening. It's happening.
Run it back. run it up, the running back, yeah, run it up.
Very impressive.
He does have a family. And first up, you know what's coming. Don't even have to say it. Whee!
Just an insane shot. Lou, you're on mute again.
I'll kill you, Lou. I will kill you.
I'm not on mute.
Obi. Toppin. Oh, that's fun.
Hey, this dude got a lot better, man. He used to just be a dunker and an athlete. He's got a good shot now. He's got a little game to him.
Bro, that's a foul if I've ever seen one.
Jalen Brown on Turner.
Oh, watch your head.
Yikes.
That,
And C. Yeah, but I like it. That's a good one. See, that's why he was in the dunk contest. I won't bring that back. Derek Lively. I know.
A lot of clips for the defensive player of the year on that man.
Yeah.
Man.
Are you guys like perpetuating the hatred on one Rudy Gobert? Who did this?
it's easy to do. It's fun to do.
It feels like it is.
Oh.
Ooh. Do it again. Do it again.
God, I don't even remember that play.
It just doesn't.
Need another one of these tonight, man.
Look
Ain't
at
five,
enough.
gotta have it.
Look at that.
That's stupid. That's just different than everything else that we've seen.
Back in
Jane
my day,
Hardy.
Chandler.
How do you say?
Oh yeah, Hardy's been hooping too. Give Hardy some credit. Out of the G League.
Give him more minutes.
Might have to. You may not have a choice. Taking a quick break, come back. We're gonna wrap things up. I mean, his nickname is Slow Mo, in fairness.
They better get rid of us. They better get rid of us, Lou. They better get rid of us, Lou. Shoulder, all right? Yeah. Hey! I got that from you, dog.
Just talks the whole thing. Between he and Luca, like, it's a lot of talking during cardio. I'm impressed.
It's the best. I love how he tells Kyrie too. He got the finish from him because you know he actually did too. You know he watched film of Kyrie, his little package, and I love that.
Lou, who's more fun than him right now? Name him.
Is Lou on mute again?
I cannot deal with Lou right now. I am going to.
I'm not on mute. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you? What is wrong
You know what?
with you?
It's a little unpredictable around here today, so I just keep hitting the button just to make sure every time it comes.
Will you pan the camera? Actually, I like to see what's going on.
Yeah, what's happening? Are there people, dogs? Like what's? No? Oh God. Oh, you know what, Lou? We're going to assume the worst. Chandler, what do you think's behind the camera?
This is Family Network.
Oh, really? Really?
There's
F-Funk King?
Not a lot of clothing back there, I think, going on.
I'm not gonna confirm or unconfirm. I don't.
Perfect. Well, unfortunately for Lou, we have to be in studio next week. But we'll see y'all on Monday.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, and run it back.